What's up, mi gente? This is Café con Cultura. We are your host. My name is Rocio Cortez.
My name is Magdalena Cortez.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. This episode is actually going to be aired on Christmas Day. We are recording a couple days before, so we're really close to Christmas, but we're super excited for it. We're going to be talking a lot about our kids today. I know that we mentioned them quite a few times, but we're going to kind of go a little bit deeper into the conversation of our kids and explain to you guys who it is that we have and have the honor of raising, right, as mothers. But before we get into everything, we actually have our first collab. We want to make sure that we want to make sure that we mention someone very important to us right now. And Maggie,
Yes, our first collab is going to be with her at is Sweets by Millie's. Hey guys, I want to share something sweet with you guys. I mean, literally share something sweet with you guys. I just ordered some sweet, gorgeous cookies from Sweets by Millie's. And I mean, I just want to show them off really quick. So cute, so cute. I only ordered half a dozen, but Millie, being the amazing person as she is, added an extra box, and this is the box that she added. I mean, this is her new collection. She will be selling these, I believe, next week, if I'm not mistaken, but they do smell delicious. Not only are these cookies beautiful, they are also so tasty, and trust me, I'm not just saying this, but you are going to want to place your order right now. If you're from the Inglewood, California area, you're in luck. She's actually local there. Do yourself a favor and support this talented baker. Not only are you supporting, but you are also getting these amazing, adorable treats. Her treats are just truly amazing, and I cannot lie. Thank you, Millie, so much for this delicious collab. Everyone, make sure to place your orders and check her out. DM her for any questions or any orders. I know the holiday seasons are almost over, but let's support the small business creator. She is truly the sweetest person you'll ever message or ever get the chance to meet. Her sweets are just as sweet as her. Honestly, I already took a little bite of it, but I put it back. These are pretty big. Oh my god. These are pretty big. I got my money worth. I got my money worth. That's all I'm saying, but I like them. I like them a lot. Really good. I do truly like them, especially because they taste like peppermint. I love peppermint. Thank you, Millie, for such a delicious collab. This was honestly the best cookies I have ever tried in forever. I mean, like, like how much I ate already. Oh my god. I'm saving this because I like to save the best part for last, but it's it's really good. Thank you so much.
awesome. I wish that I was in California and able to do that. I see more and more people just starting that hustle. I mean, we are really close to with another person too that does something very similar but with coffee, right? So I see that a lot of people are just hustling in California, and I'm really excited to see that and to see our people do that as well, right?
And you don't and you said that you guys don't have that type of stuff. Like, how
In
we have the
Michigan,
coffee
no.
girl and the cookie girl and like the breakfast girl over here. You guys don't have it over there, huh?
No, not that I know of at least. I don't see that type of hustle just yet. I know that I mean we were just talking about it just a second ago. Detroit is really coming up and it's like just a hustle here is starting to pick up, and I mean they're fixing up the city so beautifully, and I mean it's coming together really well. But nothing like that just yet. There's really good places to go to, but not necessarily, like home-based places and things like that, like it is in California. So definitely not. But it's something to consider, right?
Yeah, and I was so much of a culture shock, I guess you can say. I don't know if you can say this for this, but when you told me that you guys don't have that over there, I was like, what do you mean you guys don't have that? It's like a thing now, you know?
Right. Right. No, not yet. Not at least not here in Michigan. So make sure that you stay tuned on our Instagram too, so that you can see how good the cookies, right? But yeah, so and I mean, I know that another person that would love those cookies are my kids. My kids will go crazy over that. And I feel like, that's it perfect because it's exactly who we're going to be talking about today. But Maggie, I mean, you start off.
So my kid, I love her to death. Everyone knows I love her. With me, I only have one kid, I don't really have a lot. I get that I get people telling me that I kind of look like in my 20s. I mean, I am, but like in my late 20s. So when I tell them like I'm 21 and I only have one kid and she's 1 years old, right? They're like, "What? You only have one kid? How old are you?" And when I tell them like, "Oh, I'm 21," they're like, "Oh, I thought you look older. You look older." I was That's so rude, but I get it. I get it. I always was told that I look older than I actually do. But I love my daughter to death. She was sent by the angels, I believe. We discussed this a little bit in other episodes as well. But I swear, I think that she was sent by heaven or something by my dad, because she makes my world more brighter.
So I actually have two kids. I am in my late 20s, but I had my first baby when I was 21 as well. Well, 22 actually. And that's my little Randy. It's my boy. I made oh my God, I prayed so much to that I wanted a boy first. And I remember that my dad used to say that all the time too, that he used to pray that, at least he had one boy and my dad had one boy, and he had him first. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted an older brother for anything because I knew that I didn't just want one, I wanted more than one. So I got blessed with my son first, and he was truly, truly a blessing. I mean, I hear this a lot with other people that they say that you get lucky with your first one. And me and my husband looked at each other and we're like, oh my God, like this kid is so easy. People would say, oh, it's so difficult when they're terrible twos and they're terrible threes and all these different things. And I was looking at my son like there's nothing here. Like my son is an angel. He's the sweetest kid ever. He's always like all he wants is hugs and kisses, and he is a mama's boy for sure. And I have a lot to do with that, and I don't care about it. But he is just the sweetest kid ever. And we looked at each other and we said, I mean, if this is how our kids are gonna be, we can have like 20 of these. um, so that's kind of where the next one came from, right? Because we wanted to make sure that we gave him a sibling, and I got blessed with my little girl after him. So that's my Yoati right there. First off, I wanted to give her a name that just meant a lot. And just the meaning behind that name, I feel like it was just amazing. So we wanted to give her a name that she wasn't going to be able to deny her roots later on in life, right? There's no way. I mean, if you look at a name that's Yoatzi Gonzalez, I mean, there's no way that you're not gonna say, "Oh, you're Hispanic," whether or not she comes out really light skinned like me or a little bit darker skinned like her dad, whatever it is that she is. They're gonna know she's Hispanic, right? So I mean, but that one right there, that one was the one that we looked at and we're like, I think we're good at two. I think we're done. We are actually done. We're completely, yeah, I mean, we're all operating completely like we're done. We're done. No more kids for us. Yoati she's the wild card. She's definitely the complete opposite from her brother. Her brother is, like I said, like the sweetest. I've made a lot of jokes on social media before. I mean, like just the way that they eat, like that's just an example, right? My son will literally wipe his mouth after every single bite, and he like if you drop something, he goes, "Mom, mom, mom." He's like, he's so extra about that. But Yoati loves to wear her food. She likes to smear it across her face and into her hair. And I mean, she's something else. And so with her, it was like having another 10 kids. So we're done. We think that we reached perfection. And that's my two little kids right there. Right.
Honestly, you said that you only have two kids, and I know I'm your sister, but I feel like you have more than two. I feel like you have four, and I don't know why. I always feel like you have more kids than you actually do.
Well, I think it's because of Yoati. I think Yoati is
Your
considered like 10
Watsi is
kids right there.
very Your Watsi is very crazy. I love her, but
Yeah.
she is crazy. But
She's
she's
my wild
adorable,
card.
so she makes up for it. She makes up
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, she's very beautiful. Like I don't know. I look at her and all the time, and her dad's like, he's like, stop, because I'm always looking at her and I'm like, she's so beautiful, she's so gorgeous, she's so beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's gorgeous. And her dad's like, stop doing that. Like she's gonna go to her head, and I'm like, I don't care. She needs to know and understand that she is very gorgeous. I mean, she is
Yeah.
the most beautiful kid ever. I don't know. But yeah,
No,
those
with
are
Bailey, I like how you called your name her Yoatzi. I feel like it fit her so well. I never heard that name before. I know there's a creator, and I didn't know this at the time, but there is a creator, and I feel like whenever I'm with you and you tell people her name is Yoatzi, they're like, "Oh, like that one creator?"
I'm
Like,
like, look,
which
like
one?
I've got no, no, you know what? I've got nothing against her whatsoever. I don't necessarily watch her stuff. I've seen a couple. I know I was introduced to her on social media because of her brother Louis. So,
Yeah.
obviously I know who they are. I know who the Castro brother and sister duo is, right? But it wasn't because of her. It is because of her because that's where I got introduced to the name. But I know when I was looking for a name for my daughter, I knew right away because I fell in love with her name. I mean, it's actually her middle name, not my daughter. My daughter is her first name, but the creator, it's her middle name. I forgot where her first name is, but she goes by Yoatzi on social media. And ever since I heard it, I'm like, oh my God, it's such a beautiful name. And I heard her talk about the name and like talk about what it meant and things like that. And I don't know, I fell in love with it. So as soon as I knew that I had a girl, I already knew that's what it was. When me and my husband were going through names about what we're gonna name her, I told him I want a Hispanic name. Like you it's like that name that someone asks you what your name is and they're like, oh, Hispanic. Yep, no, there's no doubt, right? And I slipped that name in there, and he was like, "Really? I don't know." And I'm like, "I'm in love with that name," and I'm so happy that he agreed with it. But that was it. We thought we were gonna have a harder time finding out what her name was gonna be, but no, we decided right away. And like you said, now that I look at her, I look at her and I'm like, would Giselle would have been better or like
No.
Kimberly or like Jasmine, like I look at her and I'm like, no, it doesn't go with her. And then I look at and I'm like, Yahtzee, and I'm like, it goes perfect with her. I don't know. I just can't see her as any other name. Her middle name is Emilia. So even with that, I'm like, maybe kind of, when I'm mad at her, then Emilia sounds perfect. But just my little sweet angel, no, just Yahtzee.
Sadly, my daughter was stuck with a made-up name. I love telling this story. My husband's from New Mexico, like some of you guys know, and over there you don't really speak Spanish, right? So it's mostly just English over there. So he only knows a little bit of Spanish, but he's still a no sabo. He knows that, and he's okay with that. He's trying to learn Spanish, but my
Duolingo.
daughter, my what?
Duolingo.
Duolingo. That's what he has, but you know
Yeah,
what he
yeah.
uses it? He uses it to learn French.
My guy.
I
One
know.
at a time, one at a time.
Maybe that's why he doesn't know Spanish. Um, no, but I don't know why, but he said that he always wanted to name his first girl Bayalene, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Like I never heard that before. And then after we had our daughter, and I told him, I finally asked him like, oh, how did you come up with the name Bayalene? Like who used to have that name? He was like, no one, I just made it up. I was like, oh, how did you make it up? It's beautiful in Spanish. I was like, what? Bayalin is beautiful in Spanish. I was like, in one country. In one country. What are you talking about,
What
beautiful in
country?
Spanish?
What kind of Spanish?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's Bayalin. I was like, do you mean Bea? He's like, no, the whole thing. Bayalin is beautiful in Spanish. I don't know who taught you that. I don't know who told you that. I don't know who was trying to make you be a laughing stock or something, but that's not beautiful in Spanish. Nope.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, Bea, yeah, but it was
It's
a
like I wonder if somebody messed with him and like said that because I remember this is so mean. But I remember that in high school we used to mess with people who didn't know Spanish and they'll be like, hey, how do you say this in Spanish? And I'll tell them something that it was not what they were trying to say. And we would just like all the Spanish speaking people, we were just looking at each other like, So I wonder if that ever happened, but if it did, I mean that's not nice, guys. That's not nice.
I'm pretty sure all his friends are they know Spanish.
Okay,
They
yeah,
speak
I don't
Spanish.
know.
He's the only
What
one who
happened
doesn't.
there? Oh wow. You see? Come on. But no, that's awesome. I mean, but I mean her name fits her so beautiful too. I mean, we I call her Bea, but I mean her name Bealine, like it's just beautiful. Like I don't know. She got the perfect nickname off of it. She got for my daughter, I call her Watts. That's it.
Watts, nah,
Watts. That's it.
nah.
That's all I call her,
Yeah,
Watts.
you have to say the whole name, the whole name. No, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's gonna go through the same thing as me because every time I'm in the doctor's appointment or something, where I'm trying to tell someone her name, they say something completely different. And it was the same thing for me too when I was trying to tell people, "Oh, my name is Magdalena," but then I just ended up going with Maggie just
Yeah.
to make it easier for some people, and I feel like it's gonna be the same thing for her, which is kind of
No.
sad. People are gonna start calling her Bailey or something because that's what they call her.
Really? No, Bea.
Yeah.
He's Bea. Like, for Bealine is beautiful. I didn't really have that problem, but it was like I wish that I had a longer name that I could have just like shortened it. But I mean, and shorten it to like row. Like, no, I hated that so much. But like
Someone used to call
mine,
you Roro.
I know my best friend. She used to call me Roro, but because she knew
No.
that I hated it, like it was
Oh,
a joke. But she called because people would always try to say my name and they would say incorrectly, and I wouldn't let it go. I didn't care who you were. If you were like, if you asked for my name, you're going to find out what my name is. You're not gonna call me Rosario. You're not gonna call me Rico. You're not. No, if you ask me for my name, I'm going to teach you. And I would always tell people, okay, so do it with me. We're gonna do it in 3 steps. All right, row, like row your boat. All right, row. See, like I see you, and oh, like oh, you now know how to say my name, Rocio. And then people, and that's how I got people to remember my name. I mean, I would do that, and it kind of stuck. But then she started messing with me because she was just always saying like, oh, like when you're so serious, and I'm like, well, like it's not a difficult
yeah.
name. It's 5 letters, Rocio. It's 5 letters. It's not a difficult name. It's roll your R, and then the rest is easy, right?
Yeah. You know, if a funny story. Okay, two funny stories. Okay, okay. I didn't know my name was Magdalena until like middle school because I saw
What?
paperwork saying Magdalena Cortez. Because I guess I was so used to people calling me Maggie, even the teachers. Even when I switched teachers, they already knew they had to call me Maggie. But I thought that was my name until I got into middle school. I was like,
Oh my God, you were
okay.
lied to.
And then you're the only one with the R, huh? Everyone has an M.
Oh my God, you know what? And I did the same thing to my daughter. And I, without like not willingly, I
Oh
did it to,
yeah.
yes, I did it to my daughter. So I was always really, really mad at my mom about this growing up because my dad is Marcos, my mom is Maria, my brother is Marcos, you're Magdalena, and then my younger sister is Maria. So everybody's with an M except for me. I'm the only one who has an R. I'm the only one that doesn't have an M. So I told my mom, I'm like, hey, she's like, we actually didn't do it on purpose. Some people actually do it on purpose where like they use the same first letter to name all of their kids so that they can, I don't know, to do something cute, I guess, right? But I asked her like, why not me? Like, why did you like exclude me? And she's like, it's not what it was. Like, I actually really love your name. My name came from my dad loved that name, but it was actually my mom's best friend growing up. I think she talked about, I'm not sure if it was her or not, but I think she talked about her on the episode that she was here on, the friend that told her to go to the pool with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the friend. I forgot to ask her, but I think that was a friend. But yeah, it was her friend that like she was really close to when she was growing up, and that's where she got my name from. But my daughter, I mean, it was unintentional either because it's just my name is with an R, my husband's is with an R. We decided to name my son after my husband, so obviously he's an R too. My daughter came along, and I named her Yoatzi, so she's the only one in the family that doesn't have an R. So I'm like, I did the same thing to my daughter. And it was kind of a slap in the face because I'm like, I've been so mad at my mom all my life for that. And then I did the same thing to my daughter without knowing. Like, I didn't realize that until later. I was trying to do something really cute for Chris. I think it was for Christmas, actually. One of the Christmas ornaments. We were all
Oh, last year?
our, yeah. And then it was like, why? And I'm like, I did it. I did what my mom did to me.
That's karma right there. That's karma.
That's life.
Oh my
Just turn
God,
your
maybe it is
but
true what they say. Anything that you did to your mom is gonna come back to you when you have kids.
you know what? I've talked you we can actually talk about this because we're talking about our kids. All right. So I think that's a good thing that you brought up. So I always knew that I wanted kids. And my mom has told me not to say this ever because, and I understand why she says it, but just because we're talking right here, one thing that she told me not to ever say, because I have said it before, is that I never wanted a girl. I never wanted a girl. because my mom scarred me. Like I was not the easiest child. We've established that. My mom has come on here and said that I was the hardest one. I get it. I understand. I had my moments. I wanted to be a free child and I didn't want to be locked down and have strict parents like I did. But I'm actually really glad that I did because I know that if I didn't, I mean, I would have been even worse than what I was, right? So, yeah, I just my mom, every time that I did something bad, every time that I went off and did my crazy stuff, she would say, espérate hasta que tengas tu hija porque te la va a hacer 10 veces más peor. Wait until you have your daughter. And she didn't say your son, your kid. No, she said, wait until you have your daughter and she is going to do it 10 times worse to you. So she scarred me, and I was always like, I don't want a daughter. I don't want a daughter. And I remember that I was having a conversation with my grandma after I had my daughter. And well, no, it wasn't after I had my daughter. It was when I found out that I was gonna have a girl. And I told my grandma that, and she said, well, because I told her like I'm scared to have a girl because she's gonna, she's. I mean, I wasn't the best daughter to my mom, and I'm really scared of that. I'm scared that what am I gonna do? How am I gonna like deal with stuff? And she said, if you say it, you're gonna give it right. So don't say it. So I've been trying to stay away from saying it, like that she's gonna do it 10 times worse than what I did to my mom and stuff like that. So I'm trying not to say it, but man, is that girl already making me pay? And she's not even two yet. She's gonna be two in 2 months. She's not two yet. And if like I said, I don't know because my son didn't have terrible twos. He like was like a little bit tantrum wise at 3, but not anything serious that I've seen other people. But this girl is like, I don't know what's gonna look like for terrible twos or threes, and three, which is twos with 1 year of experience. Like I've heard, I don't know. It's I'm scared. I'm scared.
And I don't know how my daughter's gonna turn out. I don't know. Um, my mom always says that sh I didn't really give her much, how can I say, problems, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like I was always trying to be me with strict parents, and you know how that goes.
I know how that goes. I didn't want to be home because of it, it's because we come from two very, very wild, not wild. Well, my dad was, my mom wasn't, but we came from two very wild spirited parents. Like they did what they want. I mean, when my dad passed, what was the song
Yeah,
that
he did.
you recognize a lot with my dad? What was the song? Remember how we all picked a song that like we resonated with our dad, and you picked the, I forgot what it says, but it's in English and in Spanish, but the Spanish version, Vicente Fernandez, the one that he talks about like that he was him while he was alive and no one else is gonna take that, like at least he, that's like if he passes away, like he did what he wanted to do and he was him.
Yeah.
What song was that?
I don't remember songs. My
I can't
dad used to hate
remember.
me for that because I never remembered songs, and he always put that one recent song, the one that goes that.
I can't. I hate it when you do that. I'm like, I'm gonna put the station, and hopefully it comes out on there. And he
Yeah.
used to get mad at me too. The only one who would know is my brother. But no, I'm gonna look for the song and I'm gonna put it on here so that you understand which one it is. But yeah, no, I mean he lived life as if he was gonna pass away tomorrow. Always. He never held back. Like he was all about partying. He was all about having fun, celebrating life, and that is why Christmas is very important for me because I want to give my kids the best Christmas ever because I feel like my dad gave us that, I know we had our ups and downs and things like that. Christmas wasn't always the greatest, but when we were good, we were good. My dad always made
Yeah.
sure we had a lot of presents. Our birthdays, he always wanted to throw us parties, and if we didn't have a party, he was gonna take us out like and make a big deal. Like my dad made a huge deal out of our birthdays, out of Christmas, out of what else is there? Everything, anything that was an excuse to celebrate. He made a big deal out of it, right?
Oh yeah, and I absolutely love that. Even as a parent right now, I try my best to throw like a party for her. And my husband, he never had a party. He never had a cake.
Mine either.
Yeah, and when I did that the first year for Bea, and even for the baby shower too, he was like, "No, I don't really want that. Can we do something else? Can we just go out or something? Can we go travel or something?" I'm like,
We can still do
"No,
that
we have to
too.
have we still have to have this." I know. We went to San Diego like the 3 weeks before I had Bea just to experience it, and it was so beautiful. I love it. I love it over there. I absolutely love it over there. But yeah, he let me have the baby shower and we went to San Diego. And then for the Bea's party for her birthday, I threw her not a big party, but there was a lot of people there. But I did throw her a party that I liked. It was Elmo theme, Sesame Street theme. And it was, I think it was beautiful. I believe it was beautiful. But whenever I want to do that, even for her second birthday or her communion, because he's Catholic, I want to throw her a communion, even though I'm not Catholic. But we grew up with that big party for the communion, so I wanted to do that too. But he's always
For
like,
your daughter?
"Why?" Yeah, yeah.
Is she baptized?
He wants her to get baptized.
Okay, I was
You
like, you
need
need
to
to
take
do the
classes.
baptism first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, we were supposed to do it last year, and then I told him, okay, if we're not gonna do it last next like this year, then we can do it next year. This year, we decided to go take her to Disneyland, and I was like, oh, are we still gonna get her baptized? He was like, yeah, I still want to do it, but I don't know when, because his mom's not over here anymore. She's in Palm Springs already.
Yeah, you
So
guys have to get
like,
on that because you guys have to do that. I don't know.
we have to do it when they're like one, don't we?
Yeah, you have to do it when they're born, like right after they're born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, he was like, no, you can do it until like they're 15 or something. Like you still have
Oh,
time. I'm like,
no.
what are you
I
talking
don't
about?
know. Like, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with. I mean, I know that we did all that stuff. I mean, I did my baptism. I did my presentación a la iglesia. I did my first communion. I did my confirmation, and then all I needed was to get married by the Catholic Church. But I did not. And my husband
Yeah.
did all those things too. But I mean, it's not something that we really wanted. So,
Yeah, I think every single one of us were baptized, but not Maria, huh?
except for Maria. Yeah. Yeah. My mom still has her dresses.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know. I
Yeah.
saw them the other day. They're still up there.
Yeah.
They're so
But what I
cute.
wanted to say about Christmas too, I mean, I know that even this Christmas itself, I mean, my mom asked me, my husband asked me, my business partner asked me. I think you asked me too, like what is it that you want for Christmas and things like that. And honestly, I don't want anything. And I told my mom and my husband as well. We had this conversation. I don't want anything. Whatever anybody wanted to spend on me, I wanted them to spend it on my kids because I want them to open like an insane amount of presents for Christmas because we had that growing up. And I remember how excited I used to be. We used to have a lot of presents because we had a big family. So, like, everybody would give us one thing. And we just had a lot of presents. I remember like boxes and boxes, but I want them to be like presents that they want. I had a lot of presents and they were usually like sweaters and things like that. And I told my husband, like, I want to give them things that they want, like we can buy them sweaters and pants and all these different things throughout the year. Like I want like all the things. And my mom's like, why do you need more? Like you're always complaining to me about not buying any more presents and not buying any more toys because your kids have too many toys. And they do, but I want them to have the best Christmas possible. I mean, I'm going above and beyond with all the presents that we do have. But I don't care. Today I'm gonna go. We're 3 days away from Christmas, and I'm literally gonna go and buy some more things that I found that I want to get them. That's what I want.
It's so no, I was asking you if you want me to buy you and Randy, you're not your husband, not your kid something, or you want me to buy the kid something. It's because always growing up, I always noticed that the kids always got the presents, but not the adults. And I always felt really bad about like my mom, my dad never getting presents. So, now that I'm adult and I have adult money, I'm like, that's what I was asking. I even asked Marcos and Yvette, like, hey, do you want something or you want me to buy something for your kids? But you all chose your kids.
Yeah,
So
because I think I mean, I know growing up I felt the same way for you. Like I always stressed to my dad that like we need to get my mom a really good present, like my dad's like tell
yeah,
me
yeah,
this.
me
Remember,
too.
I was always that with that one that like and everybody would be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
honey,
and he'll give us
here you
like
go again."
$200, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's
can you give
like,
me more?
right? And like, no, 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 the one that I want to get her is gonna be a little bit more. My dad's like, tell me how much it is, and you go get it, and that's it. I'm like, you have to take me. He's like, go with your mom. I'm like, it's her present, But I always felt the same way. But now as a parent, I understand that it's fine because on Christmas, I mean, since Randy was a baby, I mean, I've gotten what 5 beautiful Christmases so far. This is gonna be my sixth Christmas. No, is this gonna be my fifth?
Wow.
This is gonna be my fifth Christmas with kids. But this is my first Christmas where both of my kids are very alert with what's going on and understand a little bit more. I know Yoati still has a little bit more to understand, and I know next year she's gonna be even more alert. But I mean, she's a really, really smart kid. I mean, she's super excited about the presents already. She knows how to open them. Um, so I'm really excited to just sit there and watch their faces, like watch their reaction on just like going crazy on them and spending the entire day just playing with the toys and going at it. Honestly, like that's for me is going to be the best Christmas ever. Last year I got a couple presents and everything, and I remember I didn't want my husband to feel bad, but I just put them to the side and I was like, we can open them tomorrow. My husband was so excited for me to open them, but I was like, I don't know. I don't really see the joy in it. Like I turn to my kids and I'm seeing their faces and how excited they are. And I mean, this is perfect because this is gonna air on Christmas. So probably if you're listening to this on Christmas Day, I mean, I'm pretty sure you just experienced that, right? I mean, um, yeah. But what about like the presents that you got your daughter? Like what did you get?
Me, I did not get her nothing because my husband actually went all out for
There you
her
go.
this year.
Well, that's the same
And
thing, both of you guys.
I did not expect that. I really didn't. He bought her like these shoes, these New Balances shoes, and if you know how much they cost, they're already too much. And then after that, he was like, "I'm not gonna get her nothing. She's gonna get so much gifts for Christmas. Like we can't even put that around our house. We don't have space for it." And then we went to the mall one more time the other day. He got her a freaking plushie. He got her a freaking backpack that I think won't even fit her, right? He got her a blanket. He got her some more toys. He got her make-believe food toys. He got her a sweater. He got her more shoes. He got her a lot of stuff. And he was like, "Do you think this is gonna be enough for Bea?" I was like, I think that's enough, babe. I think you should chill it. Maybe if you want to buy me something, that little wagon I've been wanting, though that $200 wagon, you can come buy me that. I was like, no, no, this is for Bea. Okay. Okay, fine then. But he was going all out for her, and I think it's because growing up for him, he loved Christmas. His grandma used to try like her best to give that special Christmas spirit for them, but they were still, I guess in the gutter, as he says. So he's trying not to have that for Bea, and buying those gifts is for him to, like, I guess this is what I saw on the internet too. A lot of people are doing it now. Um, a way to heal your inner child.
Yeah, right. It does. It does. It really does. And I mean, I feel like I'm really happy that us as adults, um, we had a really good education when it comes to finances. No thanks to our high school or
Yeah.
all of the 13 years of school that we went to, not because of that, but because you and I, we're in a field of finances and we learned a lot. And thankfully we're able to have a cash Christmas and be able to not worry about, oh, this is going to bleed into our budget. This is going to do this and this is going to do that. I mean, it's cash Christmas. We don't have to keep paying for all these stuff throughout the next couple months or anything like that because we were, we were well educated and we are being well educated, putting money aside for this stuff. And, that's something that I really, really love. And being able to do that. I mean, man, having a cash Christmas, that was my plan, right? Since last year is having a cash Christmas this year. And I had my little budget and I bought what I wanted. And I was like, we're still good. Let's keep going until, we're good and set. And I'm excited about that. I mean, I'm excited for our kids and to see our experience on Christmas. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, honestly, for me, I never wanted kids at all. So having this kid was a complete shock. For me, it's still in shock as well. I remember when I was pregnant, I kept on going to the doctor's appointments and seeing the ultrasound. When I saw the ultrasound, I cried. But even then, I was like, I'm dreaming, this can't be true. Like, I'm not pregnant or anything.
you
It's not
literally feel a shift
until
in your life, right? Like
Mhm.
yesterday was a normal day. Today is something like it's not like yesterday, and you're trying to get back to the reality and back to normal, and you can't. And then you finally realize like I can't because normal and reality is different today than what it was yesterday. And it's just that
Yeah.
shift in like literally you can feel it shift, right?
Oh yeah. But I did not believe I was pregnant throughout my whole pregnancy until I actually had her. Until she came out of me, like that's when I was like, "Oh, I am actually a mom now." And after that, I don't know, I felt I don't know why. She was a newborn and I was already feeling so much love,
Oh yeah.
being a mom, it really does change you. And my whole personality, my whole mood, my whole emotions when it was 9 months ago changed until I had her. I don't know how to explain it, but for the moms that know, right?
Right.
But yeah, but I never wanted kids, and people always ask me, and this is what really pisses me off sometimes. People ask me like, "Oh, do you want more kids?" I always tell them, "Yeah, I do." But people think that like I want kids right now. I'm like, "No, I know for sure I don't want kids right now, but maybe later on, you know, um, mm, yeah, later on." Um,
Bea as a big sister. That's awesome.
I know. Oh, she's a troublemaker too. She's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
But later on in life, I would like to have some more kids. Maybe one more, one or two. So we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. I hope that your Christmas Eve, if you open up presents on Christmas Eve, was delightful. And well, we just wish you a Merry Christmas. And thank you so much for listening to us. Bye, mi gente.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you guys are, if you listen to this on Christmas Day, I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. I hope you guys ate a lot of tamales. Make sure that, you guys are, I mean, my Hispanic people out there, make sure you guys are taking care of your non-Hispanic people too. Make sure that you culture them a little bit and give them some tamales. I had this co-workers before that they gave one of our white boy cooks a tamal and didn't tell him
Oh.
how to eat it or anything like that. Just was like, yeah, just eat it. And the guy like bit the whole thing, even the husk. And he was like, this is a little tough. Are you supposed to eat it like that? And they just stared at him laughing. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. Let's not be that kind of Hispanic. Make sure that you guys teach them how to eat it properly. Put everything on there, and then you just share our culture a little bit this time of year because it's so beautiful. I feel like our culture, especially during Christmas, is beautiful. Make sure you're sharing that. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we can't wait until the next episode. And it's gonna be on New Year's, so we'll receive the New Year
Oh.
together as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, Merry Christmas, mi gente. Love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I see you on New Year's.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.